Today's topic is about not giving a fuck. And what does that mean? It's not that we're things. It's the attitude that people that have abundance of something and they kind of don't give a F, right? They have this I don't give a fuck attitude. They kind of go about life with this air of confidence, you know? And how do you get this air of confidence? How do you get this like ability to just walk in a room and talk to anyone and everyone? How do you walk up to that girl that you find attractive and just start talking, you know? How do you do this? What, you know, when we see millionaires, right? And billionaires and all these women around them, or then they go into a conference room and they just kind of command that presence. What's that about? Like, you know, how do they do that? So we're going to kind of talk about what that looks like. Ryan,
Like,
we good?
yeah, you hear me well now?
Yep.
Great. So, what is the first person, famous person that comes in your mind when you think the not giving a fuck factor?
Yeah, for me, it's Dan Brazilian.
All right.
Yeah, for me, it's him. The second person would be Bill Gates.
For me, the number one person right now is Gary V.
Gary V. Yep. He
No, all,
definitely.
and he actually teaches and promotes this whole mentality. He's
Yeah,
the first one to
he does. He talks about
live.
that.
Do you hear this beep?
Oh, the echo's gone, bro. We're straight. Bill Gates for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you think about Bill Gates, if he walks into a staff meeting or a boardroom, he commands attention. And
Mhm.
okay, of course it's because he's a billionaire and he owns stuff. So you know, some of that is just attention, period. You know, if he's holding a meeting, you're paying attention to him. But you know, there's a misconception uh about that air of confidence or that amount of self-esteem that somebody has. And that could be seen as narcissistic, you know, the kind of that narcissist behavior, you know, like all me. But that's not what it's really about, you know.
And I like that in every topic that we discuss, you always have this sense of measure, the right measure in everything. Like not below, but not too much.
Yeah. That
This is
matters,
certainly
right? You know,
this,
if you're constantly you know, I'll use the narcissistic trait. You know, if you're constantly talking about yourself and thinking about yourself and all your actions are about you, then people are going to quickly pick up on that and be like, oh, I don't need to be around this person. You know, I'm good. I don't want to do business with this person because he or she's only thinking about themselves.
yeah. And not giving a fuck about what other people think about you and your actions. It's not about talking all the time for yourself.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
not to get people to misinterpret that.
yeah, yeah. And you know,
What is it for you mostly, Dave? This
man,
factor,
I'll tell
like
you
not.
what, it's about, you know, the video that I put out about framing. And I refer to this video like when I'm doing life coaching sessions, when I'm, you know, doing speeches, when I'm talking to people, you know, it's about being so well developed that you're okay, you know, you know your strengths and weaknesses. You know how to exploit your strengths, and mitigate or minimize your weakness, accept them, you know. Like for me, one of my weaknesses is I'm at 150 miles per hour. I just want to do. And that's not necessarily the best trait in the world. You know, there's sometimes where I need to just slow down and be like, all right, I need to enjoy the moment, or I need to evaluate, sit back and evaluate. And everybody doesn't do that. That's a weakness of mine. But one of my strengths is the fact that like I do interact with people extremely well. I go into a room and I can talk to everyone like they're my best friends, and like we've known each other for years. And people will be like, dude, have we met? And no, we haven't met. We're just talking, you know?
For me, not giving a fuck, it could be mostly like enjoy your life without making decisions over what other people think.
Mm.
And this is something that to me, I don't know why, but I hear twice myself right now when I talk. Do you?
No, I don't. I only hear you once.
All right. So like the previous life, I'm gonna enjoy listening to myself talking. So not giving a fuck is happiness for me, you know, because I know many people that don't enjoy life as much as they could because of what other people will think.
Oh man.
They won't do that they like,
Yeah.
or they will do things that they don't like in order to avoid people talking about them and have a bad image over them.
Yeah.
And this creates happiness. So for the people that will have a zero factor of giving a fuck, it's actually getting happier,
Yeah.
living a happier life.
Yeah. But I mean, but how do you get there? Like, and should you get there? That's the thing that I think about when I think about this topic is should a person actually get to that point? And if the answer is yes, how do they get to that point? You know, and I kind of answered that it's about framing, in my opinion. I think that if you know yourself, you frame yourself, you understand um your likes, your interests, your disinterests, you know, and it needs to be both sides. It can't be one or the other. You know, you can't know what you do like and then have this mindset of this is what I like and that's it, because then you're never open to new experiences, right? But if you're open to new experiences because they're new, you're not open to experiences that you don't like and don't want to experience, right? And you're really focusing your life in the area of interests and experiences that you do want to have. I think that's the key. When I think about all of this, I think that's the key.
Well, certainly, when you know who you are and what you want in your life, then you can be your true self, you know?
Yeah.
Not pretending to be someone else, not pretending to like things that you don't like. Unfortunately, I've seen people that in their love life, they pretend to like things in order to appear more likable to the other sex.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah.
this is people that give a fuck what the other will think. They try to appear more similar to the other person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's not
think people lose years of their life uh, giving a fuck about what their relationship partner they're going to think. there's not, I mean, there's a point where it's not unhealthy, but there's also a point where it's not, you lose yourself in the relationship. You don't even know how to be who you want to be in a relationship.
And when you don't give a fuck what other people think, I find that you have the ability to actually try new things without restraints, you know? Like, you wanna go learn dancing, you can go. You are a guy and you wanna try ballet, you're gonna go try ballet
Yeah.
without what others think, you know? Or
Yeah.
you are a girl and you wanna try joining the army, you will still do it.
So I wonder, I'd like to know how many people, and leave a comment if you're watching this after, if you're watching it now, leave a comment. How many people feel like they lose themselves in relationships? They lose a piece of who they are or who they want to be for the sake of the relationship they're in. That's a good. I wonder. You don't have to give details if you don't want to, but I wonder if you've ever been in a relationship. I certainly have, where you feel like you just can't be you, you know. And certainly,
I
I'm not talking about my relationship with the Siliki.
I've been there, and you know, this is a useful lesson early in my life that helped me understand that when I am myself, it's the best version I can offer, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about these guys? Catherine from Authentic Life, life coaching. She says, be your authentic self, which is 100% right. But you gotta. I keep referring to framing yourself. You gotta put in the work before you're there. Yeah, like so many people, man, they think they're more than they are. They don't seek. Crafty asks, how do I get there? You know what? How you get there is by trying and doing and investing in yourself. You got to try new things. You got to do new things. You got to invest in yourself. You have to invest. If you don't invest, so many people, they go, I don't want to put $150 into life coaching, or I don't know, salsa lessons, like you're taking salsa. Salsa lessons are $70 a month. Look, I know everyone doesn't have a disposable income, but you have some way to be differently, to invest in yourself, to like search different knowledge, different perspectives. We all get in this, like, this is me. I'm an American, and that's it. America, and you go, or Greek pride, and it's like, well, fuck, is that? I mean, that's you. That's who you are. Come on, you're
You
more than
know,
that.
I think it all begins, like you said, by know who you are and what you like. And then from that, you just don't change your course, you know.
Yeah,
You your course without thinking what is acceptable or not acceptable.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
So
But
how you do that? First you have to spend much time self-reflecting, self-analyzing, self-exploring.
yeah, that's my point. That's my point. Is like you got to put the work in to know yourself. To understand what you like, what you don't like. I didn't know myself when I was in my 20s. Oh hell.
Almost nobody.
Yeah, but you can kind of, even though you change, most people that are in their emerging adulthood, so in their 20s, don't seek to really understand themselves. They don't have that intrinsic motivation to be self-reflective. and just imagine how better your life would have been if you were this self-reflective when you were in your 20s.
It would be amazing. But you know, it's a matter of guidance because if early in your life you don't get the right guidance, it takes more time to get there. That's
Yeah.
why most people don't are not trained in their 20s and they're still trying to figure out themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I think it's commonly agreed that not giving a fuck, it's a very attractive personality characteristic. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I
We're, you know,
I keep guys like you attract everybody on them. You know,
yeah.
girls and guys, not sexually though.
Yeah, man. I think before I was married, I dated a lot, I messed around a lot, I had a lot of female friends, and I when we started doing this business, right, Unlimited Potential, we started thinking about guys and how we can help guys be able to date more women and attract better quality women for themselves. And I'll tell you, man, I never realized that so much of just my natural personality was so attractive to women. You know, why is Dave able to date so much and uh, you know you know I don't want to say sleep with.
Someone
Yeah, have all these female friends, right? Why was he able to do that? Well, because I didn't give a fuck. If I was rejected by a girl, it's like, okay, well, what about your friend? That's you know, you're both hot. Maybe your friend likes me and you don't. And it wasn't in a bad way. It was like, well, this isn't uh, this isn't bad. It's just personality, and that part of my personality was really attractive, and this is what in the boardroom, from business to your personal life, these things are very attractive.
but you know, it's not the only attractive characteristic. There are many attractive characteristics. The thing with this particular one is that when you don't give a fuck about others' opinions, you appear very confident.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So everybody knows that confident guys and confident girls are very attractive to everybody else.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I think this topic is something that we could talk for hours about.
Yeah, we could, man. What got us to start doing this Tuesday thing is me and Ryan talk all the time, and we'll talk for hours about a topic, and it's so much fun. It's so interesting. So much comes of it. And we said, what? You know what? We were talking protest, huh? Protest. Day
3
before yesterday.
days ago.
And we were like, why don't we just do a Facebook Live and interact with the audience and our friends and be able to like explore these topics all together. Um, so yeah,
It's mostly to give food for thought, to make
yeah,
people think over.
yeah. Not necessarily like this is the right way to do it. This is the wrong way to do it. It's not a therapy or a coaching session. It's nothing. It's just us talking and talking with everyone that is willing to listen and talk with us.
Exactly.
Catherine talks about confidence. Um, self-reflection is important. Crafty talked about that. And these things are right. Like reflecting on yourself, being confident in who you are, building that confidence. Those things are super important in life.
Yeah, and there are several people that can help you understand better understanding of yourself, and then get to a point that you won't pay attention to other people's opinions.
Yeah, yeah.
So this can be psychotherapists, they can be life coaches, they can be a friend of yours with high emotional intelligence.
Mm.
No, because as many people know, our environment will shape us.
Yep, yep.
So, if we have as a base a very healthy and empowering environment, slowly it will get us over there.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up. Do you want to talk about anything else?
No, I think I said all my ideas over the topic.
I don't think I said all my notes, but that's okay. We,
Well, love to listen to anything else. Every time we talk, we both learn from each other.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You
I'm always
know,
for
I don't
you know.
want to belabor and make this too long, but I talked about framing, and I really can't say enough about the fact that you have to frame yourself and experience life and do things outside of your comfort zone in order to know if you like or dislike them. So, you
Mhm.
you you start walking through life with this air of confidence, when you're developed, you're framed, that like if we're talking about dating and relationships, if it's a guy and that like just because she's a hot girl and she might not be interested doesn't mean much. I don't care. Like if you're not interested in me from our first interaction, then that's okay. Like and I might disqualify you. Like I won't date a girl that smokes. If before I was happily married to my beautiful wife. Disclaimer. But I didn't like women that smoked. Like that wasn't attractive to me. So it didn't matter how hot she was. If she's gonna smoke, I'm not gonna really date her, you know?
Mhm.
And that was it for me. And so it could be anything for a woman that a guy is walking up to. You could be short and she likes guys, 2 meters. Okay. That doesn't mean that at the end of the world hasn't happened because she said, no, I'm not interested, right?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people around the world. So you can make lots of friends. You can have relationships. And I was thinking, you have to realize that what someone will think of you is not really important right now in this date and time. It used to be important when we were like 200 people living in just a small village. So if many people disliked you,
Hmm.
you were like a social outcast.
I don't know, man. Tell me,
But
when you say not important, what do you mean?
it's not a survival thing. It's
Yeah, but I
not it's
still,
not
I still,
like
I
if
still think
200
it's
people don't
important.
like you, it's gonna change your life. Because most of the people that will think something bad of you, they're not really close to you. It's not like they are good friend of yours.
I don't believe that, Ryan. Here's why. Sometimes people think negative things about a person, and those negative things are true. If you're
Mhm.
say for example, if you're not socially developed, right? If you don't know how to interact with people very well. Maybe you're an introvert, you're starting to try to go out and meet people, and you're a little awkward talking to people. We both know people like this. And someone tells you, dude, you're awkward, right? Your conversation's a little awkward. You can't just be
Mm-hmm.
like, ah, no, negative things just brush off of me. I don't believe that. No, man, look, sometimes people are telling you the truth, and you need to pay attention.
Yeah, you can always evaluate the feedback you're getting,
Mm.
but it doesn't mean that you will stop conversing with everybody because of a bad feedback. You will try to get better, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is sometimes people's constructive criticism or maybe not so constructive criticism has some validity to what they're saying. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's where the self-reflection Catherine talks about. Like that's where you gotta be you gotta be truly honest with yourself in order to frame yourself. And then once you get to a certain point, you know, then you could be like, you know what? Somebody tells me, dude, you're way too extroverted. Like you're just you're talking to everybody, and that's not really. Maybe look, if I was dating a girl that didn't like me to talk to other girls or make friends, she would not like that part of my personality because I'm all over the place, you
Yeah, I know.
know? Yeah, I know, and that's okay.
I know you, and I know the feeling as well
Mm.
because I'm very extroverted as well. So I'm all over the place as you. But I actually forgot what I wanted to say. Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
So it was a great Tuesday coffee,
it was. I enjoyed it. I
an
can't wait till
awesome
next
one.
Tuesday.
Yeah?
Let's do this every day.
Not too
All right.
much coffee.
Galactica, bro. Mwah. Love you bunches. Thanks everybody for
Bye,
watching. And if you're
everybody.
watching this after Tuesday, thanks for watching it. Put a comment. We'll try to answer all the comments or at least put a heart. Yeah.
And you can suggest new subjects for the next week.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Hey, somebody put a subject for next week's Tuesday Coffee with Dave and Ryan. The first person that puts a subject for next week, we're doing it. Done. Unless no,
Oh.
I don't care what it is. Done. Hey,
All right.
and then lastly, don't forget, I got a new book out, so go buy the book. Why Me by David Armstrong, available on
Exactly.
Amazon worldwide. So if you type in Why Me, David Armstrong or Dave Armstrong, the book will come up. Go buy it. Only 100 copies of the signed limited edition are available. So I got to check today to make sure we're not close. I think we're about 50, 60 right now. So after the signed copies are done, 100 of them, no more signed copies, unless you get them from me personally. All right.
Exactly.
Love everybody.
So,
Peace.
bye, everybody.